So you have an interview coming up or you're just preparing. Glad to see you join me in this video. Like many, you're probably wondering how you can answer any behavioral questions in a compelling and effective response to be remembered for. If you're just starting out in your career or you're looking for a career change, then you have found the right place. This channel we discuss all about career-related matters, whether that could be learning how to write an effective resume, a cover letter, to acing any interview questions. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and help us by sharing this to everyone and anyone you care about. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now, the first thing you should be aware of is to apply critical thinking in all matters of your life, whether that could be in your personal life or your professional job. Think for a second, why do human resources ask you these questions? As you should know, it's very difficult to predict the future potential of a candidate. Although these questions cannot guarantee that they'll be somewhat true, but at least they will minimize the odds against them. So some of the important factors that human resources and recruiters look for are as follows. They look for retention rate. Can you fit in the team? Cultural fit. How good are you at the job? Company reputation. Values. Ethics. These are just some of the main core reasons which naturally translate from those questions being asked. So now you understand the foundation, let's work on some techniques that will help us to build an effective response. No matter the question, the common technique used is the STAR approach, though it's not the only structure, but keep in mind, it's how effective and sound reasoning it comes across. So be flexible in your approach. This is just a guide. Situation, task, action, result. That's the acronym of STAR. So when answering these questions, you should keep in mind that anything you say is an immediate reflection of what you'll be viewed as in their eyes. So don't take these questions very lightly. So let's break it down. What do we mean by following the approach or the technique? Situation refers to a project or an event that occurred to which you can highlight the relevance of your experience. Task. So this is the steps required where you identify the principles or the problems, especially who is involved or what's important and what you need to do to get the job done. Action. Now you have identified the probable solution. What did you do? Results. This is where it's going to be positive, and most of the cases we need to look for is what was the outcome and who was being impacted, and was there anything that you and your team learnt from what has happened. So having a structure like the STAR approach will help you to set like guidelines which you can follow and broke down as an example in a clear and concise form. One aspect that many people forget to add when using this technique is teamwork. I've seen and heard countless of candidates speak only of themselves unless you're working in a call center and everyone has their own little desk and no one actually talks to each other. Well, then it's a different story. But anyways, however, as we all know, how many of us require to work with and talk to people. So what I'm trying to say there is no matter the task or the project, be sure to reference the decision makers and your collaboration with the team. A great tip here is they want to see the active participation, the contribution of ideas, your decision making, and how you solve problems. Okay, so now we've got all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's talk about some example of questions. Tell me the time you had to deal with a difficult customer and how did you manage? So the week is about to end and you were short of completing a project. What did you do? How do you solve conflicts in the workplace? Now give me an example of when you could not satisfy the client's requirements. What happened? Most importantly, what did you do? The list goes on and you can search all the questions across Google. Though, did you recognize there is a trait or common response required to all the questions? Yes, they want to know what your thoughts were and your actions toward a real scenario or problem. So don't we tackle one of these questions? How about give an example when you could not satisfy the client's requirements and what happened there? And then most importantly, what did you do? So the situation is, recently I encountered a difficult situation beyond my control, namely COVID-19. Employed as a business development consultant for XYZ, I managed to pull through an order that had taken over a year to win the client. Just for background here, we supply dental equipment, chairs, and softwares, the whole lot. So the situation is, although we're extremely satisfied with our win on paper, but to our surprise, we didn't know the impact of COVID-19 and we could not supply the order on time. Though the clients were understandable, but they still had a business to operate. Finance is already in order and equipment needs to be in place for use effectively. My task or my role as a BDC, as well as the acting representative for XYZ company, was to ensure that I helped the clients through the catastrophic event in a professional manner. Our shipment has been delayed by 3 months and clients were wanting to operate the business. So my job was to see if there was any way of helping the clients operate. So I started to take some notes. This is what happened. Number 1, could I possibly access equipment earlier through my networks, or do we have extra equipment lying around? 2, do I cover the lease cost of 3 months or something for the clients to compensate the delay? 3, if I renegotiated with the client, would that make them satisfied? Or, like everyone else, could probably just cancel and refund the amount. But then is this really a solution for the client? So I decided to draw an action plan, and sitting down with management, we raised every possible solution to the situation. And most importantly, we applied the if. We chose the solution and what is the damage if something occurred. So if any, we need to maximize all avenues to extend the services to our client. So we planned the best solution is always to help the client win. Well, at least we have to allow them to feel that way, right? So we threw out the idea in the room and agreed that the client would benefit from our equipment. So us using the rule of elimination, we came down to our one solution, which involved covering half of their rental expenses. At the same time, we substituted the upgraded model for the client to start using and had the client to pay for a little bit more. So the result was, overall, the client was able to launch the business. It was only delayed by a week. Everyone is happy, and it was a clear win. Because as we know, that the item, though being delayed and still came into our stock, we can still sell it because it's very popular. But what management and I was very happy was that we upgraded their model, made them feel special, gave them a bit of a big massive reduction on the new upgraded model, and we were able to get rid of the old stock in the showroom. So there you go, guys. Every response should always show that how you fix your problems, plan, solution, and also have a bit of detail in it, but most importantly, have a goal to solving the problem. If you found this video useful, please smash that like button again, hit the subscribe button, share these contents all around. Until next time, I'll see you then.